You can't imagine a new color regardless of how hard you try to.
The story of David and Goliath is actually a story of an inferior warrior having access to a superior long-range weapon.
When you look someone in the eyes, you just look at one eye and let the other sit in your periphery.
Meat consumed as comfort food is also an emotional support animal.
AI was supposed to take boring jobs and allow people to be creative, but the opposite happened.
You can eat a raw egg, but you can't eat a raw chicken.
Most of our ancestors never experienced the simple but thorough pleasure of a hot shower.
The Baha men are still out there wondering who let the dogs out, without an answer.
First we learn to speak, then we learn when to remain quiet.
Heist movies are the only places where you can expect a recruiting person to immediately disclose pay range and scope of responsibilities.
Kids have potential. Adults have regret.
The internet is the return of the Middle Ages pillory for criminals.
Tracking a delivery can provide more enjoyment than actually receiving the delivery.
Human beings are the only species on the planet capable of deterring their own extinction.
The longest part of any dining experience is waiting for the bill, then waiting for the cards.
Getting hired gives you independence, while getting fired gives you freedom.
It must be really hard to pay for things in Hyrule if you're colorblind.
Most young people think older people look at them over the top of their reading glasses for dramatic effect.
All dentists work on canines, but very few work on dogs.
Now for a quick break. Stay tuned for more shower thoughts. The hate comments on the internet are a good indication of how people are when there are no consequences.
Depending on the context, beer has two different plurals.
The Magic Hat in the Frosty the Snowman song is a parasite that communicates through the snowman vessel.
It is impossible to be wrong if you tell a person they are being lied to.
Your belly button is your mouth in Alpha Dev.
Heavy metal poisoning isn't as cool as it sounds.
When someone starts a sentence with no offense, prepare to be offended.
Cereal is breakfast soup. I'm Montgomery Jones.
And I'm Amalia Dupre. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow with more mind-bending shower thoughts. Goodbye for now. If you liked this podcast, check out our other podcast, Daily Dad Jokes. It'll make you laugh and groan. Just search for Daily Dad Jokes in your podcast app or check the show notes page for links. This podcast was produced by Klassic Studios. Please see the show notes page for source credits.